Everybody likes a compliment. I am rather inclined to silence. The people will save their government, if the government itself will allow them. I desire so to conduct the affairs of this administration that if at the end I have lost every other friend on earth, I shall at least have one friend left, and that friend shall be down inside of me. I was losing interest in politics, when the repeal of the Missouri Compromise aroused me again. What I have done since then is pretty well known. I like to see a man proud of the place in which he lives. I like to see a man live so that his place will be proud of him. I am naturally anti-slavery. If slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong. I cannot remember when I did not so think and feel. When I am getting ready to reason with a man, I spend 1/3 of my time thinking about myself and what I am going to say and 2/3 about him and what he is going to say. Among the friends of union, there is great diversity of sentiment and of policy in regard to slavery and the African race among us. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. The people of these United States are the rightful masters of both Congresses and courts. Not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow the men who pervert the Constitution. I do not think I could myself be brought to support a man for office whom I knew to be an open enemy of, and scoffer at, religion. The people know their rights, and they are never slow to assert and maintain them when they are invaded. It is a quality of revolutions not to go by old lines or old laws, but to break up both and make new ones. It would astonish if not amuse the older citizens to learn that I, a strange, friendless, uneducated, penniless boy, working at $10 per month, have been put down as the candidate of pride, wealth, and aristocratic family distinction. The legal right of the Southern people to reclaim their fugitives I have constantly admitted. The legal right of Congress to interfere with their institution in the states, I have constantly denied. That I am not a member of any Christian church is true, but I have never denied the truth of the Scriptures, and I have never spoken with intentional disrespect of religion in general, or of any denomination of Christians in particular. These men ask for just the same thing: fairness, and fairness only. This, so far as in my power, they, and all others, shall have. You have to do your own growing no matter how tall your grandfather was. He who would be no slave must consent to have no slave. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves and, under a just God, cannot long retain it. I am humble Abraham Lincoln. I have been solicited by my friends to become a candidate for the legislature. My politics are short and sweet, like the old woman's dance. I go to assume a task more difficult than that which devolved upon Washington. Unless the great God, who assisted him, shall be with me and aid me. I must fail, but if the same omniscient mind and almighty arm that directed and protected him shall guide and support me, I shall not fail, I shall succeed. I believe it is universally understood and acknowledged that all men will ever act correctly, unless they have a motive to do otherwise. We think the Dred Scott decision is erroneous. We know the court that made it has often overruled its own decisions, and we shall do what we can to have it overrule this. Every man is said to have his peculiar ambition. Whether it be true or not, I can say, for one, that I have no other so great as that of being truly esteemed of my fellow men, by rendering myself worthy of their esteem. How far I shall succeed in gratifying this ambition is yet to be developed. Standing as I do, with my hand upon this staff, and under the folds of the American flag, I ask you to stand by me so long as I stand by it. Character is like a tree and reputation like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of it, the tree is the real thing. It has so happened in all ages of the world that some have labored, and others have, without labor, enjoyed a large proportion of the fruits. At what point then is the approach of danger to be expected? I answer, if it ever reach us, it must spring up amongst us. It cannot come from abroad. If destruction be our lot, we must ourselves be its author and finisher. As a nation of freemen, we must live through all time, or die by suicide. We find ourselves under the government of a system of political institutions, conducing more essentially to the ends of civil and religious liberty, than any of which the history of former times tells us. Being elected to Congress, though I am very grateful to our friends for having done it, has not pleased me as much as I expected. If this is coffee, please bring me some tea, but if this is tea, please bring me some coffee. If I were to try to read, much less answer, all the attacks made on me, this shop might as well be closed for any other business. It was that which gave promise that in due time the weights should be lifted from the shoulders of all men, and that all should have an equal chance. This is the sentiment embodied in that Declaration of Independence. If you think you can slander a woman into loving you, or a man into voting for you, try it till you are satisfied. I hope to stand firm enough to not go backward, and yet not go forward fast enough to wreck the country's cause.